Hi class, so tonight we're going to talk about the income statement. The income statement is the very first financial statement that we prepare before we can prepare anything else. So if you look at one of my other videos that I already have posted, it talks about the connection between all of the financial statements, but tonight we're not going to concentrate on that. We're just going to concentrate on the income statement. So before we kind of start writing everything out and showing you the format of the income statement, I want to kind of get you thinking about the process. What is included on the income statement? So companies use the income statement to answer questions like, what happened this year? What kind of money did we make? What kind of revenue streams did we have? What are the ins and outs of our company? The income statement is going to be kind of a scoreboard of information for the organization. So it's ongoing from beginning to end. It's going to keep adding on to each other until we get to the end of the year. All right, so going back to the board. So when you think of the income statement, I want you to get in the habit of always thinking about your revenues and your expenses. All right, so these are going to be the two different types of accounts that are always going to show up on the income statement. This is how companies are going to determine where did our funds, our earnings come from this year, and then also what kind of things did we spend our money on. So when you're thinking about the income statement, another thing to think about and try to help process it is thinking about your own personal income, inflows of money, which is going to be your revenues, your paycheck and other forms of money coming in. And then expenses are going to be things like your rent expense, your utilities, and other types of things that you spend your money on a regular basis. All right, so when we're thinking about the income statement, we have two different types of ways of preparing the income statement. The very first, the easy one, is going to be called the single step income statement, which all you're going to do is take your revenues, subtract your expenses, and that's going to get you to your net income. That's the easy one. That's the one we like to do because it just makes sense, okay? It's just those three things that you have to remember. Revenues minus expenses gives you net income. All right, so the more complicated format that we're going to use is called the multi-step format, which is going to take and start with sales. All right, when we're thinking about sales, if you can just remember that sales is a form of revenue. All right, it's called a multi-step income statement because what's going to happen is we're going to start with sales, then we're going to subtract our cost of goods sold, then we're going to have one step. We're going to arrive at our gross profit. Okay, from there, that's the first step. Then we're going to subtract out the other expenses. And this is a bit summarized, but the idea is to kind of get you in the process of thinking this is like a summarized way of doing multi-steps. Then we're going to have another subtotal, and it's going to be income before income taxes or income before interest. Then we're going to subtract out one or both of those, and finally, after doing about 4 steps, we're going to arrive at the same place, the net income. All right, guys, so that is pretty much the income statement. If you have questions, please feel free to leave me a comment. Please share as much as you can, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.